Melodic Mike, one of the hardest things that I've dealt with is holding on to some of my past relationships.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think a lot of us can
Yeah,
relate to
it's
that.
really, really difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really difficult. I've really struggled with that. It's one of my top struggling areas, and I'm constantly working on it.
Yeah.
I'm constantly working on it so I can help others and really, make that mind shift that's really necessary.
Yes.
It's really, really important. I really like to talk about that today. I think it's a great topic.
All right. So on this topic, today's topic, we're going to talk about
Holding on to past relationships. Thanks for watching the Mac Show, everybody. That's Melodic Mike. And I'm
That's
Anita
Anita K.
K. And Infinite, thanks for watching.
Yes, thank you so much.
So we do this sometimes very unconsciously, sometimes very consciously through and unconsciously through communication, our actions, our regular reactions,
Right.
and managing expectations. So I think there's a lot of themes that are conscious and unconscious that's attached to why we hold on to a past relationship.
Preach.
And a lot of us, like I had the entitlement factor.
Oh.
Well, you can't do that to me, or I loved you. How could you? The entitlement of what I want to represent to the individual, which his definition could have been a little bit different, but I was fixated on my definition.
Okay.
And that really leads to a negative entitlement and really warps the process of letting go and breaking down, which is a really important part of it. And I think ultimately, self-sabotage. Yeah, definitely self-sabotage.
I found this to be just a very common thing that people do is that
It's very common.
they think about what they went through and they bring that, we'll call it what, baggage? We all call it baggage somewhat,
Yeah.
one way or another. And
We
we
do,
bring that to our next relationship.
Unfortunately, we do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not, again, conscious.
Right.
It's just a habit forming mentality. Or sometimes we think another way of winning part of a first impression, which is not, is divulging too much and being too personal or sharing with the goal of getting attention and not the most positive way.
Right.
And it really doesn't work successfully in the long term, or you don't really start off on a new relationship on the right foot. But how do you work through breaking down the things that you really need to break down when you're holding on to that past relationship? What about a male's point of view?
Kick it to the curb. Get rid of it. It's not that easy.
It's not that easy.
Especially when you're
Yeah.
emotionally attached. When you've gone through a lot of roller coasters.
But from a male point of view, is there anything different, or do you think it's pretty much the same, male, female, 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 male, male? I mean, do you really think?
It's hard to say, but it's on the individual and how they deal with it, how they process, right? No blanket statements, but what I found to work with a lot of people that I've worked with is really thinking about what happened, why it didn't work out, what can you learn from it so it doesn't happen again? What were some triggers? Those were really key factors that I realized for myself, but also with my friends and the people that I work with on how to get past what you were going through so you don't bring that to your future relationships.
And I think Melodic Mike said something really, really key is triggers. There are certain triggers that we maybe unconsciously it starts taking over.
Right.
And that stomach knotting and that headache and that feeling of I'm about to go into tears or whatever it may be, or I want that drink because I want to Band-Aid this feeling, is really knowing what your triggers are.
Right.
And almost labeling them. And then if you focus on how to get through the triggers and break the triggers down, you're slowly moving forward on breaking down the expectation of holding on to a past relationship. So think about that. It's really, really important. So if you see your same behaviors going in the same direction, and again those feelings or those conversations are again wasted because nothing's really going to facilitate that coming back, you got to be really cognizant of that.
Yeah, just realize that vicious cycle that you created or that has been created. Not you created, but has been created. And when are you going to actually break that cycle?
And I think another very, very important theme to keep in mind is hope. If you really focus on hope, then you really are being more motivated to move forward and out of the past and into something maybe possibly very exciting.
Right.
And then I think the third, probably the third area, how to really manage all of this is having some type of contentment and understanding of why your classification and your status changed.
Right.
Really, sometimes we don't always get the questions answered.
No.
I was broken up with, gosh, I still don't know why. That's okay. But really giving it a new meaning. And even if you have to believe that meaning and it may not be the exact truth, it'll still help you to move forward.
I want to add something. For some of you guys that, a lot of us seek closure.
A lot of us do.
And there's a lot of times.
I think it's very important if you can get it.
If you can get, key operative word that Anita K just said is if. Now, if you don't get it, you have to be okay with the fact that you didn't get it, right? And you have to move forward. It's okay if you don't get that closure. You're not entitled to it.
Exactly.
If it happens, cool.
It's a benefit.
If it doesn't, be okay. You have to move forward.
I think it's almost harder to be in that motivating and self-fulfilling attitude when you don't have the answers, because you've really got to channel some inner strength and some peace and really say, hey, I'm going to make this about me and I'm going to move forward accordingly. And I think that's a tougher thing to do.
Yeah.
That's a tougher thing to do, but I think more of a success outcome will come if you adopt that, especially when you don't get the answers for the closure.
Right.
And I've practiced some of that. I'm really speaking from something that I feel out of so many things that didn't work really did.
Can I add something?
Yes.
I want to make sure people realize something, that people that you date, we're all different. So whatever happened in the past, and I noticed this with some friends, whatever happened in the past with one person doesn't technically, it may not happen with the next.
Oh, definitely.
So don't carry that over.
Yeah, don't
right?
expect that.
Yeah.
Yeah, expect a positive, more rewarding outcome. It's almost like moving up a ladder in your professional life and your personal life. Have the moving up ladder mentality, and you're really not, you're going to fall down a lot less. And I think that's really important, and that's how you guard your heart.
Yeah, don't carry anything from the past forward, because why? It's in the past. Leave it there.
So you want to focus on some of the skills and techniques that we talked about.
Yes.
And let us know if they work for you or if you've ever tried it. Or maybe there might be something else.
Yeah.
I can't have enough of that information to help me and some of my friends and clients along the way.
Please comment, subscribe, comment below. Let the community know so we can all grow.
Infinite thanks for supporting us, everybody. I'm Anita K.
I'm MelodicMic.
And you're watching The Mac Show. Stay tuned for our next episode.